Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed Hassan. I'm working as DevOps engineer. Guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how we can set up the highly available infrastructure on GCP. So let's begin. What I've done, I've added README MD here, and we are going to follow steps to deploy our application on GCP using help. But definitely we need a proper infrastructure which is highly available and secure infrastructure, and it should be automated. For that, we need automation tool like IAC infrastructure as code. All right, so I'm going to use um, Terraform. On top of that, I'm going to use Terragrunt. So this is my account, guys. What we are going to do here. So we are going to follow the steps, and we are going to follow the steps from the scratch. So first step is going to be CD into Docker. So what we have in Docker, if I click here, this is the README section regarding the detailed steps what we need to do. We need to run a container and run a script. So detail is already here, but what I have done, I've added example here. It is going to be a simple example. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular command, and this is going to be like name of the container. So I already have a name with the sandbox. I'm going to call this demo. And platform is going to be Linux slash AMD64. Why I have written that? For instance, if you're using Mac, those operating system uses ARM, right? So, but the packages, what we're going to install uh, is going to be from the, AMD, right? 64-bit. So the advantage of using the Docker is that your system is not going to be polluted, and our all the DevOps like environment is going to be quickly set up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this particular command. If you're using Mac, Windows, or whatever, let me show you this stuff. So you see, Docker is already running, and this is the container I use for my regular work. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a shell and run this particular command. So guys, I've opened the PowerShell with administrator mode, and I'm going to paste the command. So if you see, currently I don't have any directory with the sandbox. Previously I do have, I removed that. What it does, it is going to create a directory on my desktop, which is definitely is the PWD present working directory. And although I'm using Windows, so this command is for Linux and Mac. So I'm going to run a different command for Windows. For Windows, I'm going to update the command, and let me update the README MD as well. So guys, I have updated my README MD. So what I'm going to do, as I'm a window user, I'm going to simply copy this command, right? And what it does, it is going to create a sandbox directory on my desktop. Currently, if you see, I don't have any directory with the sandbox. So once I run it, you will see that this directory is going to be created, right? And sandbox is already used. So this name, I'm already using it. So I'm going to remove that. So let me rerun this particular command. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply, you see this container is already there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do docker remove. In fact, this command is gonna not run, although it created a directory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply call this guy sandbox, right? So if I do docker vs, you see my container is running, and it is the Python slim image, right? So we are going to run our packages. I'm calling these packages as DevOps packages, right? So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open my MobiXterm. I'm going to take a shell, and I'm going to show you what to do next, right? So guys, we are going to follow the same step as mentioned in the instruction, right? So I'm going to open this terminal, and simply I'm going to paste this particular command. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to take a shell into this. particular container as a root, right? So if I do ls here, this directory is blank and I don't need to do anything. For instance, if I do navigate to this section, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to simply download this as a zip, right? And I'm going to place that in my directory sandbox. So let's do that. So let me navigate to this section, right? And I'm going to place this guy here, right? And if I do ls here, you will see that, oh, this is mounted. That's why I'm able to see that. So I'm going to simply do unzip from the outside. You can do zip from the inside as well. I'm going to click this guy and bring this guy outside in my, download section, and I'm going to bring that guy here as well. So, so now in my download section, uh, see, we have like, sorry, downloads. Let me double check it. Okay, there we go. So we have this directory, right? And we are going to move this to desktop, right? So let's do that. This is the another copy, right? So let me get rid of this. And I'm going to bring this guy here, right? You see, I have both zip and unzip installed. So if I do ls here, so I'm going to cd into GCP main, and if I navigate to Docker, where I have this particular script, I'm going to make this executable packages.shell. So let's try to run it. Packages.shell. So guys, what it does, it is going to install the packages, what we need for this demo. Like we need Terraform, Terragrunt, and other packages. It includes extra stuff as well, like Helm, kubectl, and all those packages are going to be involved. So it is going to prompt us for the installation, and this will take hardly uh, 5 minutes, right? So let's wait for a while and let it complete. I'm going to pause the video and I will be back with you guys shortly. Guys, this is in progress. I've added all the stuff usually which DevOps need in their routine work, like Helm, AWS CLI, GCP SDKs, Azure SDKs, because I work on multi-cloud architecture. So I built this script to, quickly set up usually to build the infrastructure. Regarding the DevOps, you need a DevOps environment. So Docker make it really easy. And you see, we are not polluting our system. That is going to be a one container. We are, running these scripts and um, doing the installation regarding the packages we needed, right? So let it complete and I will be back with you guys shortly. Now, guys, it is installing the CDK for GCP that is installed. We need to press Y for that. And this is the advantage of Docker, guys. If you know the understanding of Docker, how mounting works. So we are using the stuff from the outside to inside. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open a VS Code here, and we are going to even edit the files. And those edited files are going to be available inside the container. So regarding the edits, why we need it? Because we need to update the Terragrunt root SCL, right? So here I need to update the um, playground, uh, or I should say the project ID. Region is going to be the same, and the bucket I need to create. So let's create this particular bucket, right? In the meantime, and I'm going to call this bucket. Let's copy this guy. In fact, I'm going to name it. So you need to either create a bucket from the CLI. I provided the instruction how to log in, authenticate with the um, GCP CDK, and use the CDK to create a bucket with versioning enable. It is going to create multi-region bucket, but this is the demo. So I need to uh, make sure everything is simple. I'm going to copy this guy and let's call this, give a random number. I'm going to call this uh, okay, Cloud Geeks Terraform State 100 because previously I've created those bucket might be uh, I might get an error regarding that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open in another tab and let it open. Navigate to the cloud storage. You can click these uh, the bars as well. So I'm going to type here cloud storage, right? While we are creating this bucket, we need to set up a backend for our infrastructure to make sure it is highly available, secure, um, encrypted in REST, encrypted at REST, right? So now I'm going to create this particular bucket and I'm going to quickly create this because I've added this as a backend for my Terragrunt. So I'm going to use a multi-region or just create it. Make sure to enable the versioning as this is the demo. So I'm quickly creating this guy to make sure our bucket is available, right? And once the packages are installed, so pretty much ZXH is now available in our container. If you want, you can remove this guy. So my ZSH, right? So PWD and who am I root? Who am I? I'm root, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cd to /mnt. Why I'm going to navigate? Because this is the working directory which I have mounted. I'm going to navigate to cd to GCP Terraform main, right? I need to set up the infrastructure and navigate to Terragrunt. So here, I've updated the root, but I have not updated the project ID from here. This is my project ID. I'm going to copy this, right? So I'm going to copy this guy, right? Navigate back to this section, and it is going to update the files here. As I'm updating, it is going to update it in the container inside as well. So let me copy this guy, and I'm going to simply press here. So this is my project ID. This is the bucket updated region is fine. No need to update anything. That is fine, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm in the, sorry, if I do ls here. I'm in the root of the Terragrunt. I need to navigate to the dev directory. So in dev, we have CloudGeek, VPC, Simple VPC, and GKE. So in VPC, I just want to create a global network, right? I added two VPC to give you understanding that this is going to create, this is a modular module. You can create as many VPCs as you want, but for GCP, the network is so huge. Even one network is more than enough because we are going to use the uh, big side ranges, and this particular network is uh, as compared to AWS, each subnets are at regional level, so give you a multi-region. failover and high availability as well. So, uh, okay, this part is updated. Let me uh, navigate to section where we are following our README MD. So this part is done, packages are installed. Now for Terragrunt to authenticate simply, I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to run this particular command. What it does, it is going to provide this URL, and I need to copy this particular URL, right? I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to select my account, right? So this is the account sandbox environment I'm using. I'm going to authenticate with this guy. I'm going to say continue and authorize, because this is the sandbox environment, and this is going to be, all these credentials are going to be vanished within few hours. So no worries about that, right? So I'm authenticated. That's all we need regarding the Terragrunt. So I'm going to type command Terragrunt. So let's uh, I mean, follow the instruction exactly from the, instead of typing, I'm going to, show you the command cd into dev GKE. For VPC. We already cd change directory into VPC. So this is regarding the cleanup, and we are in this step, sorry. So I need to init Terragrunt init. I'm going to initialize the steps. What it does, it is going to initialize our backend. We provided our bucket. We provided updated our uh, project ID, right, from the VS Code, and it is updated inside the container as well. So this particular stuff is going to initialize the backend for us. So the reason for using the Terragrunt is that your backend state is going to be managed in such a way that it is going to be distributed, uh, and it is much more easier, because when you do like it is going to divide your Terraform state into multiple chunks, and when you have a large infrastructure or setup, so it is going to render quickly, and dividing the file into chunks is, much more simpler in case of it avoids any error. So I'm going to show you that. So if I navigate back to this section, remove this guy, navigate to this section, currently you see this bucket. Let me click this guy. Okay, that's fine. Currently we don't have anything in our bucket, so let me show you that. So as I discussed, we are going to create two networks here, and regarding the commands, I'm going to do this part is already done. I'm going to do Terraform. Usually you can do Terraform plan, apply. As this is the demo, I'm going to do try to wrap this quickly as possible. So I'm going to run this Terragrunt apply. So what it does, it is going to deploy highly available infrastructure regarding the network. I'm going to show you what network we are going to build. So let it run. Our backend is set up. So let me navigate to the code, and I'm going to um, open the Terragrunt in the next tab, right? Let it open, and we are on the third step. And if I navigate to this section, dev, where we are in VPC, creation of our network, right? So these are the inputs, guys. I'm going to call this global network. Region is going to be regions, I should say, are going to be US South 1, Central 1, US 1 3 region. If you enable or disable NetWay, you can set it to false. And these are the CIDR ranges, but these are not the actual CIDR ranges, but you can say that I've in the backend code I've added add two, which is going to add in the masking subnet match is going to be /16 for public subnet, /16 for private subnet, and for database subnet, I'm going to use 24/24 subnet, which gives us around about 251, 252 IPs, right? So you need to make sure you check the documentation regarding because four of the IPs needed by GCP, and after removing those IPs, we will get 252 or one, whatever. So similar applies to here. So let's see what happened. Okay, and okay, Terraform plan, this credential are not valid. Let me double check these. Okay, okay, slash mnt. Okay, I need to get rid of this file as well because I've added one of the file which I forget it to remove from the backend. Let me show you this part, what it is asking for. So, okay, from the code section, if I navigate to GCP module in the root of the Terragrunt, I'm updating this stuff as well. Okay, sorry, this is the root. Okay. So guys, this is it is asking for it is looking for credential here, but we don't want that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this guy, and I'm going to also update my readme MD as well. So here I've commented this part as well. So we don't need it. It is updated. Let me update the readme MD as well. So guys, I've removed the extra comments, which are not actually required, and it is causing the error. So now let's try to apply the command Terragrunt apply. Let's see. So it seems like it is fixed. What it does, it is going to create the VPC or the network in our GCP environment, right? So let it run. So currently it is rendering and looking for the code section in the VPC which we have provided. So it is going to call those particular modules which we have defined, and I need to press yes here to deploy our infrastructure. So if I navigate to the section, keep this open, and I'm going to open one more tab here, right? And I'm going to navigate to network, type network. So we have VPC networks. So currently we have default, but shortly you will see that global is going to be start provisioning, you see. So currently it has no subnets, and if I click this guy, you will see shortly subnets are going to be provisioner will start provisioning. So I'm going to hide this info, right? And currently it is going to create the routers, and let me show you the stuff regarding that router and NAT gateways. So definitely it will take some time if you type router here, and if you navigate to cloud routers, you will see that three routers are going to be provisioned with your network name. Like one is going to be in US Central one, US East one, and uh, US South one, US South region, or so, right? So let me refresh this section. I'm not able to find any refresh button here. So refresh from here. So you will see that infrastructure regarding the subnets regional is going to be available. So these are the CIDR ranges as I discussed and show you how CIDR ranges are going to be with /16 subnet mask, right? So these gives us about 65,535 IPs minus four or five IPs from that. So on regional level, in the public subnet South one, we have these much IPs, and similarly on the other networks. The database subnets I've already discussed. We can have 251 or 252 IPs in multiple regions. So let's see, it is finished. Now what I'm going to do, as I discussed, this is the modular code, and I'm going to create one more VPC here to see what it does. Let me show you from the pre-section or pre-architecture. If I navigate to this section, uh, okay, navigate to Terragrunt. So in this particular directory, I've added the tree architecture as well. So this is how it is calling the modules. So we are calling the modules from our dev. I should see you. I should navigate to this section. From dev, we are calling these modules. We call the VPC module. Later on, we are going to do GKE module. But what we are going to do, we are going to deploy one more, network here. So I'm going to do Terragrunt init, initialize. What it does, it is going to initialize the backend, and I'm going to then show you how our backends are separated in the bucket we have created. So it is not storing your infrastructure state files locally. It is divided your infrastructure in chunks. So that is the advantage of using the Terragrunt, and it also offers uh, the code dryness, which means that do not repeat yourself. So this is the example I'm showing you guys with the same single module call. I'm going to create two networks, and this is how you can create two or three Kubernetes clusters as well. So I'm going to calling the same stuff as it shown you the tree. So I'm going to call, say auto approve this time. So it is not going to prompt me for yes. So let's do that. So it is going to create one more network here. So if I navigate back to my network section, click this VPC network, you see, now we have default network, global network, and what it does after a short while, it is going to create one more network, right? So let it wait for a while. And till then, what we are going to do, we are going to check two cloud routers and also open one more tab regarding the NAT. So bring this guy here. I'm going to say cloud NAT. Why we need NAT? In order to give internet to your private machines, you need to have NAT deploy on all three networks, US Central one, US East one, and US South one, right? So definitely you can disable it if you want to use one region, or if you want to use single network. But you need to make sure that NAT gateway should be available in those on those particular region. So let's see what's happening here. Seems like it is working fine. So excuse me. I'm going to do a refresh here, and it is going to create my second network with 9 subnets again, Cloud Geeks Global Networks. So guys, as I already told you, these are the massive networks, and it is now creating the other network with these subnets mask, which I've already discussed with you know and also if I navigate back to this section, cloud routers, and if I do refresh here, I should be able to see three more routers provisioning for my uh, network, right? So similarly, it is going to create three more NAT gateways for my network. So this is regarding the infrastructure and module to code. Now it's time to move to GKE cluster provisioning. So I'm going to add only one Kubernetes cluster because in sandbox environment, I do have resource quota limitation. I cannot provision too much stuff. So I'm going to use one command here, Terragrunt init and Terragrunt apply dash auto dash approve. So what it does, it is going to initialize and it is going to create uh, our Kubernetes cluster with the specific name we have provided. I'm going to show you further. If I navigate back to my backend section, if I do a refresh here, you will see the two directories in the dev. This is the dev environment, you see. So two directories regarding the VPCs are separated, and you see this is the Terraform state for our first VPC network. This is the second one which we have provisioned from the same module, calling that particular module, right? And now we are provisioning the GKE. So GKE directly, it is going to store the state of Kubernetes cluster, which we have defined, and we are provisioning here in this particular uh, directory. It's going to store that. So now we are provisioning the clusters. So I'm going to get rid of this section because we have already discussed what we are doing regarding the network part. And I'm going to open one more tab here regarding the Kubernetes engine, right? So then we are going to discuss regarding the uh, backends for Kubernetes, right? So it is going to be a regional cluster. You can set up like zonal cluster as well. So we don't need to enable any APIs because the code has the ability to enable the API before it runs. So let's navigate to the section regarding our GKE. So this is the one. And if I navigate back to this section in the GKE, Terragrunt.scl, right? So we are going to, so it has a dependency. We need to deploy this GKE cluster in the first network. So it's going to take the name of that cluster. I call that VPC, right? So which is private cloud, and the network name is going to do that. So I'm going to call this environment as a dev environment, right? It is going to fetch this from this directory name dev, and it has a dependency. It is going to pick up this. It is going to be a public. We are going to deploy this in public subnet because we need to access this from our laptop. If you want extra layer of security, definitely, which I do prefer, you can set up the VPN. So videos regarding the VPN I have in my account. So if you navigate to section like type VPN here. So these are some of the client VPN, but I'm talking, this is the Python, which is the Docker container setup. You can set up on any cloud, right? Or AWS, GCP, or Azure. It's totally up to you. So this is which we are going to we need for our in order to access that, right? So there are other options as well, but this is not the video regarding that particular security discussion. And regarding the videos, if you want to add some extra layer of security, definitely WAF, you can watch this particular video, which we have shown to add a WAF in front of your Ingress controller. How you can do that, I've explained in that video. So let's back to our GKE section, and this will take about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to pause the particular video till then. Okay, and if I do refresh, it should enable the API automatically itself. So we should be able to see it is actually in progress. So let's wait for a while and uh, let it complete. And let me just refresh. Okay, it is in progress. I'm going to get rid of this uh, stuff. You see, our cluster is being provisioned. So code I've already shown you regarding the Terragrunt automation, right? So let it deploy. Then we are going to deploy our application to Helm and some of the stuff you need to do regarding the TLS. I'm going to show you what you need to do regarding that. So guys, our GCP GKE cluster is set up. Let's just double check from our UI. So in order to access this cluster, I need to authenticate with my service account or other credentials. So let's do that. I'm going to do that using service account, right? So guys, what I've done, if I navigate back to this, if I simply navigate back to /mnt, this is the working directory. What I've done, I've created GCP JSON in my GCP directory, which means, I've added my service account. So I'm going to log in with this service account, gcloud auth activate. I'm going to activate activate my service account, right? So let's do that. And I'm going to use this key, the file in which is living here in GCP slash, right? So what it does, it is going to authenticate me to this playground or my project ID, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this guy and I want to set my project as well, a default project. So G cloud um, config, I should say config that G cloud auth config, I'm not sure or remember auth config set project. I think it is config. Yep. So let me get rid of this auth. It is going to ask my, this is the default project, right? So what I'm going to do from the web UI, I'm going to copy this particular command in order to connect with this cluster. So it gives me that config, right? So I'm going to run this particular command and I'm going to, I'm authenticated. If I do key get nodes, you see why. So I should, I'm not set up the alias. So should type kubectl get nodes. So these are the three nodes which you have provisioned, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this guy into Lens and I'm going to cp my config, right, to slash mnt, right? So this is the one which I'm going to, but it is not going to work like I need to authenticate. So, but here I have mounted this directory. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open Lens here, add this file and this context here. So I'm going to add kubeconfig, paste it here. It's not going to work because it needs to be authenticated, right? So let me show you the error. And then what I'm going to do, I do have installed AWS CDK on my laptop. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this guy and I'm going to cd into this sandbox, right? So bring this guy here. Oops, I don't want that. So bring this guy here. I just wanna do cd, and if I do G cloud, I know my service account is living here. G cloud auth activate service account, which is living in GCP and with this name GCP dot and G cloud auth activate, and I should type and dash e dash file. So let's try to reconnect with this cluster, right? So I'm able to access this cluster, guys, right? And we do have our nodes available, right? And these are the pods. So we are currently, interested in default network. So what I'm going to do, we have completed all the steps regarding the infrastructure setup. Now I'm interested to deploy my application. So let me cd into TLS. So let me show you this directory living here, TLS. We do have a script here. So if I do navigate back to my container, if I navigate to this GCP module, let me remove the stuff regarding uh, is it anything with it. Let's get rid of this guy. So we have this GCP dash, right? So let me navigate to this TLS section, TLS, right? So I'm going to remove a directory here. I've added a directory Here I'm going to run this particular script, but before running it, I just want to show you that what needs to have. You need to update your domain name here. That's it. I do have my domain name available on Cloudflare. As I shown you as a prerequisite, you need to have Google account Cloudflare. Why we are using it, I already discussed in the start of my video, right? So I'm going to run it. What it does, it is going to create TLS directory with uh, certificate authority and um, navigate to this section, right? What we have this CRT like certificates and key for that with the CA sign. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to navigate back to documentation. I need to copy this particular command. What I'm doing here, I'm going to create certs and it is going to be a secret in the default namespace. Currently, if I navigate back to config secret, you see there is no secrets available. So let's try to create and you will see that secret is going to be created 2 seconds ago. And this is the secret name. We need that. And then I'm going to CD back to my uh, CD dash to my Helm, right? So CD into foo. This is my application which I want to deploy on my default namespace and use the native layer 7 ingress controller provided by GCP, right? So you can use the CLA command to see all the stuff, but I bring the cluster in the lens, so we don't need to do that. So I'm going to simply copy this command, and then we are going to see what we have in our help, right? So I'm going to copy this guy and paste it here. So it is going to use the dev values.yml in the default namespace. It is going to deploy the application, and the application name is going to be my app. If I navigate to this section in the helm releases, you will see my app in the default namespace. It is going to provision, and it should have 3 pods uh, available, right? So currently it is in provisioning state, and if I navigate back to deployment, it says 1 deployment, and now it says 3 because I've enabled the auto scaling as well. So let's discuss some of the part regarding this. And if I navigate back to this section, GCP L, right? So let's see this file, dev values.yml. So guys, we are using this public remote image registry or repository provided by Google, right? And this is the version of the tag. Who is the name? The service account is disabled, right? Leave that the stuff. So this application uses port 808080. So it is going to call the container inside the port on port 8080, but the service it is going to create on the with the port 8080 as well. So this is some of the stuff regarding the application. I've enabled the Ingress controller. So class name, we are going to use the native GCP annotation to make sure we we should use the Ingress controller uh, provided by GCP. So if I navigate back to this section, I'm going to copy these particular commands. So uh, it's going to describe, it's going to say get ingress. So this is the ingress. It will take some time. So what you need to do to check it, so use this particular command, describe this ingress. So you will see uh, the state of your ingress. So it will show you schedule for sync. So it will take some time, and after a few minutes, 3, 4, or 5 minutes, it will give you different messages regarding the state. You see, it is created the target proxy URL map, and shortly it will say that it is going to allocate it external IP address of the load balancer, which is going to be the layer 7 load balancer. It is created a target proxy and forwarding rule uh, regarding our application, right? So we will check this guy in the UI as well. So let me navigate to this section and I'm going to type load balancer here, load balancer, right? So you see one load balancer is provisioning and with backend are up to dated, right? So you see HTTP and HTTPS, and you see if I click this guy, these are the certificates we have created, and it's going to show us these are the self-signed certificates. You see, I've created shortly, and these are the domain and subdomains. So now we are going to update the IP address, which let me describe this again. And you will see that this is the IP address provided. This is the IP address of the load balancer. I'm going to navigate back to my Cloudflare section. I'm going to click on edit and I'm going to simply update this guy, right? So bring this guy here and I'm going to save it. So this is the app.saklanmushtaq.com, and if I do navigate back to this section, app.saklan glamstar.com. So it will take some time. Currently, you see the handshake is failed. You have to wait for a while. So be patient with that. So it will take some time, and shortly you will see that our application is going to be available. But as far as the connection is, you see, connection is valid and secure. Uh, Good trusted certificate. So propagation build time regarding the stuff you see, everything seems to be good in our load balancer side, it is hooked with the backend application. So these are the backends which we have. So these are the two backends you see, uh, like the zonal uh, network endpoints, right? So, okay, as I discussed, this cluster is regional, so you will get multi AZ or multi-zonal endpoints. If you set up your infrastructure highly available, you will get multi-zonal. But I mean, you need to update your cluster, enable auto scaling in your network to make sure that US is one which we have. It is the same cluster. This is the region, and these are the zone ABC. So you see, our pods are highly available, and shortly these are going to be available. So you need to be little patient regarding that. Yeah. So this is what we need to do regarding our, I mean, setup, and let's be patient with this. So, and then till then, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some of the cleaning stuff, right? So in the last, I want to do a cleanup. So if I navigate back to this section, this part is done. Move back to /mnt and GCP-Terraform. We have moved to Terragrunt, and we have our dev, right? So we have our VPC and GKE. So get rid of the resource first. So I'm going to say Terragrunt destroy. So before destroying, I just want to show you that it is running and make sure you should wait for a while. So this is the one you see, and I'm going to show you from the lens as well. Let me show you how it is going to do load balancing as well. So this is the IP address, sorry, this is the host name of one of the pod, JJ4. I'm reading the last one, JJ4, this one, right? So let's try to refresh this guy. You see, now it says KMB. I intentionally added these I mean, images to show you in the containers. So how it is doing the load balancing. So KMB, right? And if I do refresh, so now JJ4, so it is doing the load balancing between our pods. Anyway, so now I'm going to get rid of the infrastructure we have created. I'm going to say auto approve. If you have done with your, I mean, testing, simply get rid of the infrastructure created because you don't want to you know, incur a lot of extra costs. So this is the demo, guys. So I did auto approve. So what it does shortly, it is going to get rid of our GKE cluster. And definitely GKE cluster destruction will take time. And after that, I'm going to get rid of my VPC as well. Although it is a sandbox environment, definitely you are going to test in your might be paid account. Definitely you need to get rid of the infrastructure you created. So let me show you the last parts. It is going to do the destruction as well. So then I'm going to I mean close the video and let me navigate to this section, Kubernetes cluster. So let it refresh. It is actually refreshing the state, and shortly it is going to say destruction. Similarly, this is how you're going to, you see, it is going to destroy 8 resources, and it is going to shortly destroy. And after the destruction of GK, you can get rid of BBC as well. So if I do refresh here, you will see that that destruction will started, and you see the cluster is being updated. So guys, that is it. I think that is enough demonstration regarding the setup you need to deploy highly available secure infrastructure. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Have a nice day. Thank you.